Good morning.
Good morning.
No, the funny thing is that legitimately, like, this idea of doing a podcast with your wife, like, seems like something easy, right? Like, you
Because
have,
all we do is talk and talk and talk and
and we
talk
talk about really good
and talk and
things.
talk.
And, like, the minute you put us on a camera, it's just, like, fucking embarrassing.
Like, what is wrong?
Like, Kara just said, what are we going to talk about? We talk all the time.
What were you talking about right before you started this?
I don't remember. What was I talking about?
Oh, people trying to do their moms.
No, this is not what it's about. Seriously.
I know.
Why do you bring it up? People so no. Well, now here's the elephant in the room. Like, no. Okay, the conversation was simple. And this is really, it is an interesting topic. It's like, obviously we all do become our parents in some capacity and what capacity that is, right? Like,
You see yourself doing things that you're like, oh my God. I'm
exactly.
doing exactly what my parents acting like.
But like I mean, that's the thing is like, there's traits of myself, like in my dad, and I'm like proud of myself that I've taken on those traits, right? And so like,
Some were like more funny and some were like, oh yeah.
yeah, so like the conversation goes more into like the bad ones, which we don't have.
No, especially not me.
But like, at what point in your life do you come to the point where like you realize like, wow, I've taken on this trait in my parents that I maybe wished I wouldn't? I mean, do you backtrack? Like, what? I'm asking you. Oh.
I don't see myself being anything but like probably like so fun.
Welcome to For the Love of Marriage. I'm Adam.
I'm Karen.
So no, I think the goal though, like we've been trying to do this for a long time, obviously. She's and like the one time that we talk the most and have our kid legally strapped in behind us. Um, I think this might be the only time we can actually sit down and have a 10-minute conversation because it doesn't seem to be working. And speaking of that, okay, wait, I have a question for you. What, and like our 1 million listeners, dude, we're on the middle of a podcast, please. So like being I wouldn't necessarily say we're new parents anymore, right? I mean, we're new. I mean, he's like,
You know everything.
we know everything. Okay. Well,
Second one on the way.
oh, bless you, bud. Um, the after like bedtime. Okay, bedtime is this word that when you're a new parent, like you don't quite understand. I don't think, do you?
Right away.
Yeah, like though that, like what that means, like all of it.
No. We
Because
didn't. No.
no, I just remember like I said something like bedtime to somebody who had some older kids, and they looked at that. This person looked at me, and it was a woman, and she was like, "Oh my God, don't you just love that
What bedtime?
bedtime?
Like she said, don't you love it?
Don't you love?" Yes. Yeah, and like I was like, "Oh yeah, love it." Like typical new parent.
Principal, yeah.
It was just like I don't know. I mean, like I guess I like bedtime to some degree, but uh, like the actual now, 19 months into this, I was gonna say war, this experience,
Blissful.
bliss, oh, for sure blissful. But like bedtime is this thing. Like I already said today, we were at breakfast, and I already said to Kara, I was like, okay, after bedtime tonight, this is what I'm gonna do. Like already anticipating what I want.
You didn't do all your special things last night because you kind of felt sorry for yourself.
Well, I didn't feel good last night.
You felt sorry for yourself.
Yes, and what did you send me that meme?
Oh, it was like after it was like on TikTok. It was like after 30 hours of labor, 4 hours of pushing, and then an emergency C-section. I finally understand what it's like when my husband has a cold. Again,
I do. I get that though.
I know.
Because I take it harder,
I know.
but I don't complain. I just like, I didn't feel good. I have a question though. Why does your voice get like a little bit more sultry? Like, what is going on with the way that you're like, well, I thought TikTok, and on the TikTok, like try to talk like a normal person.
Um, I
So, okay, but like honestly though, like the purpose of this whole thing, like what we're gonna be doing, what we're gonna be talking about, right now, I think the name is for the love of marriage. That's not the name.
no. I'm getting my voice.
But we really just want to kind of like jump on here once a week, 10 minutes, and just shoot the shit with each other, talk about like our experience as parents, but just how great it is.
Oh, yeah.
Make bedtime great again.
But last night, bedtime was different because who was going through it?
Oh my God.
That he cried till 3 a.m. and we're doing there was nothing wrong. So I finally did go in there at 3 a.m. It was a very hard night.
And you said like that you read somewhere, which I think maybe people don't know, or moms that are listening, that
Oh, yeah, because I was having like a total sloth meltdown. I'm like, I can't even watch the show we're watching. But I saw that moms, when the baby cries, like for survival, your your it's the for survival your stress hormone, like cortisol or something, goes crazy. So you would like go help your baby from danger. Now obviously he wasn't in danger, but it spikes and it like sends this message to your brain. So you can't like Adam can tune out Cooley crying and it's like it's fine. And I'm like sitting there like jumping out of my skin because I'm like, oh my God, I'm losing my cuckoo mind. But that's like
because it's an actual chemical
yeah, because
thing,
it's like a survival thing from whatever.
which is like brutally like abusive to the poor mother to have that going on.
Yeah.
Because that's like what's so like I mean because you get to Saturday and it's something changes for people that are expecting a child or have little kids like the dynamic of the weekend changes drastically in the beginning, but also just continues to change where, like, I'll tell you, by the end of Saturday, like, I am so cashed out. And, like, during the week, I'm okay, but, like, Saturday, man, I'm so tired by the end of the day. Like, I just feel beat up.
No.
But it's the
I
best thing.
killed it yesterday.
No, I mean, it's the best thing in the world, of course. There's nothing better. It is just a different level of exhaustion. Cooley, our son is in the back, and he's actually watching his favorite Cookie Monster video. And sometimes he laughs uncontrollably too, and sometimes he doesn't. But we'll see what happens.
Is my voice normal?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, it's more normal.
Okay, okay, I'm pretending that there's nothing happening.
Well, there isn't anything happening. We're just talking like we always talk in the car. There's so many things though, like I mean, this is just kind of the teaser, and I don't know if we're gonna be doing it from the car always, but I do like that we're able to like just kind of chit chat like we do in the car. So like here we are, February, coming into spring, which your birthday, Kara's birthday, she's turning 40.
No, 39.
39. She's turning the big
Big difference.
39. But on Wednesday, which is cool. And so like that's a great place to go with this is like for you being that you are pregnant, 5 months pregnant, is that right? 5 months, something like that.
Almost.
So like a lot of changes, a lot of things that are just inevitably gonna have we're gonna do and experience together. But like going into this pregnancy and going into the summer and going into the spring, what are some things for you, like your core values that you want to kind of hold on to and push through so that the pregnancy, life, work, everything, the balance, being a mother, like kind of where are you in your head with all that, trying to wrap around how you can be the best version of yourself?
Oh my gosh. Like in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, I mean, we only have like 10,
Okay.
whatever.
Well, okay, I was talking to Edna. I was talking to my sister, and because she's about to have her baby, and she was giving me really good advice because like
She also has a baby 3 weeks younger than Cooley.
so she's been really good about she's a little bit ahead of me and everything on this. So because the second pregnancy has been harder, also because you have a kid, but also it's just been harder and not feeling as good. And she's been so good at it. Staying so present and not fast forwarding. Because like even last night when Chloe's crying, all I'm doing is like, my day tomorrow, I have to do this, I have to film, I have to do this, and then I start to like spiral. It's like really all you're dealing with in that moment is like, Chloe, fine, like, we're fine, everything's fine. But like the staying present with this one task, this one thing, because if you start to think, oh my God, he's crying, and then in 6 months there's gonna be two babies crying, then you start to spiral. So you have to stay so present. I think that would be like the main thing. Now, like to do that, you have to do a lot of things, working out every day to keep your mind calm. Oh, there's so many facets of it, but being able to stay in one challenge at a time and not fast forwarding your problems is like my biggest thing because I fast forward. If I'm like, I feel sick, I'm like, I feel sick forever. This is my new life. And I start to spiral. Like, that's why you work on this.
I so everything you just said, I couldn't agree with more. Um, Yesterday I also had a day where I spiraled. I said to somebody actually, what?
I know.
And like, but I said to somebody, I was like, I had a day like they're like, oh hey, hey, Mr. Adam, Mr. No, Lieutenant Dan, I think. How was your day? And I was like, it was okay. I kind of was in my head all day. And a buddy of mine said, oh, spiral head or something like that. And I wrote, what's spiral head? And he didn't say it. But I was like, holy smokes. And we talked about this last week, about it. And I think it happens more maybe this time of year.
For sure.
It
Give me one nice day and I'm the best person.
Yeah, like I think the weather helps. I think like for me personally, me being sober, like I go through that. I have to like deal with things a little bit more, a lot more. And so sometimes the days do get to me, but I think and I didn't practice this yesterday, but I think that is something that I really want to continue to work on as well, is that spiral because
Can you do your meditation? Keep doing that.
yeah. Yeah, well I've started to meditate. Like I'm on this kick and I'm gonna get up at, which is so fucked up. Like it's so fucked up. I'm now like my new thing starting tomorrow
I'm jealous.
is I'm gonna get up at 4 in the morning. Yeah, Monday. I'm gonna get up 4 in the morning. I'm gonna do my meditation. I'm gonna lift weights from 4 until like 5:30. Like just get my freaking head straight.
You're up at 4 anyway, thinking.
Yeah, I'm losing my mind. So I'm excited for that. But I do think like it's important this time of year and transitioning into spring is that like staying on top of the spiral because the way that a day can just go. Maybe we should. Well, no, but like the day just like it's like you start here and like something goes down and down and like things just keep and then by noon it's like oh well everything sucks. And like it's so funny. I saw this thing yesterday or this morning about this guy who on a podcast, which is like so great because these podcasts and that's kind of why we're doing it is like more is more, right? And like there's so much good information out there that we can retain and hopefully share with other people. But he was talking about how like failure, he won't ever quit. Like you could have him on the ground beating the shit out of him and like he still wouldn't quit. And that's kind of how he's gotten to where he is. And I think in a world where things are moving so quick and things are happening so fast, like remembering that like even when like the dips, right? Like in business or whatever, like in your business or mine, like there's ebb and flow. It's just how it goes. It's up and down. And sometimes when it gets down, it's so it's so hard to live in that space
I know.
and fight through that space because
That's the same thing, though, we're talking about.
yeah, it's just like you get so wound up in it and then it's like well maybe I should do this or I mean there's days where will seriously think to myself like I should and driving a Uber is great but like I literally think to myself like maybe I should drive Uber at night like and it's just because like
I know what you're saying.
like you're just like, oh, this started, and then like it works and everything's working, and you think you're the king of the world. And
when you're down, you're always like, because I'm always like, oh, if I'm having a great day, my whole life is amazing. Everything is great. If I have a bad day, I'm like, everything's horrible, and it's always going to be horrible. That's the thing.
yeah, but it's
Unexpected.
It is
Good or bad. You can't get used to either because it's going to.
But that's what makes you the fighting person that we all want to be,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's like so easy to sit on your phone and scroll through, people that are sitting there telling you like how it's gonna be so everything's hard and you're gonna have to be patient and it comes and if you want to be successful you need to eat shit and like which is like the thing is like when you're in the ring and you're fighting and you're down like it it is so hard.
So hard, and that's like we don't need to get too much into it.
No.
But like with the not drinking, when you have a bad day, and like we've been saying, like fighting through it and feeling the bad day, and not being like, well, I'll make it to 5 o'clock, and then I'll be like feeling like the most amazing euphoric feeling that's so fake. But like feeling it and then fighting through it, you get so much stronger. Now, obviously, I'm pregnant, I'm not gonna drink, but like the mindset of it, of not
No, but
using alcohol.
yeah, and also like with our sober from alcohol, it started May 30th,
Right.
2023. So
Journey
you
started.
had been in this experience before you got pregnant, which thank God for you, you don't have some buffoon next to you just getting hammered your whole pregnancy. Not that you have experience with that, but if you did have experience with it, his name's Kool-Aid. But no, I mean like that, and I do want that to be for my part of this in your content. I do want to be part of my journey is being sober and not drinking because it has been a huge thing for me and
Biggest thing.
the biggest thing in my whole entire life aside from you and my son, like, you know, but it has made those spiral moments, those things like become a lot more difficult in the moment.
In the moment, because you're dealing with it, you're in it, and there's no secret exit door.
No.
Pretend like everything's amazing for a few hours until the next day when you want to die because you're so.
Yeah. But with that, it's like the way that the day goes is like as it goes down and down and down, you get to like that bedtime, right? Back to bedtime, and you put your child down and you come downstairs and you know you prepare for your, you know, 1 to 2 hours of craziness. Yeah, like your show, whatever. But it's like when you get to that point, there's actually nothing more euphoric than knowing that you were able to get through something very challenging mentally, your mental health, physical, whatever, and you were able to get through it without turning to something that you turned to for so much of your adult life.
Peaceful bedtime, and everything. It feels so good.
But it really does help all of that, and I think that that's really important.
Thankful.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a personal thing, so it's not exactly.
About what we think, we don't know what people think.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so I don't know. That's a fun little start. Your birthday's on Wednesday. I'm gonna take the day off work and we're gonna hang out. We're gonna tear up the town, and that is kind of the start.
Great day.
Have the most wonderful day. Hopefully you're somewhere warm or you're up north, somewhere cold, enjoying winter sports activities. A few more weeks of that, and before we know it, there's gonna be boats on the lake, and it's gonna be springtime, and I'm excited. So yeah, so for the love of marriage or spiral down to the stairway to hell or whatever the heck this is called, we're really excited to share our experience as parents, our experience as sober parents. And now, given if lovers, now given if you want like a quick backstory, like I partied. Party was my middle freaking name. Yeah, so like it's not like I'm like this guy who had a couple beers on Saturday that's not giving you advice.
Like our idea of fun together would be to have like party.
Party.
Now after Cooley, obviously that changed, but you
Yeah,
go on.
but so like we're there. I mean, in my I mean that's the best thing about me is like I'll tell you one thing, I might not booze anymore, but I can booze with the best of them.
We partied, yeah.
So have the best day and just stay on top of your own shit and understand that like even the moments things seem a little bit more difficult, um, that it's just a feeling and a lot of it is in your own head and you can fight your way through and be a better person because of it. A way better person. And you can communicate with your spouse. I mean, we're not perfect. We do have some times where I'm mean and Kara hates me for it. Hates a strong word. Despises every part of me. But but also like being clear and having a clear head in that is very helpful in us growing as a couple.
And learning the communication skills.
Yeah, and as parents and everything. So take what you will if you want, if you do. My name's Adam.
Oh.
You guys have a good day.
Okay.
Just leave.